Fall camp ramped up last Saturday, and head coach Mike Norvell and the FSU football team have been in full swing preparing for the upcoming season. Coach AB and I have gotten our hands on some of the practice film, courtesy of our boy Tommy Mire of Tomahawk Nation, and hope to give some insight on how and why Norvell runs his practices the way he does, and give some general thoughts that we've heard from around the beat.
Florida State wrapped up their fourth practice of the preseason here. We got some good clips from our boy Tomahawk Nation, Tommy Mire. We're going to go through them, take a look at things. Right here, we're starting with a nice chunk run by Trayshawn Ward, Mackenzie Milton at quarterback. This is in their tempo drill in the beginning of practice. Got a little compressed formation on the backside here with trips up top. Popular formation for Florida State last year. Another handoff.
Love those trips.
Yeah. Norvell really likes to base out of that stuff. The compressed receiver on the backside is something that's new that we hadn't seen out of them last year.
Take a quick look at that.
Yeah.
So this compressed guy gives them kind of extra options. He can be used in the run game and in the passing game. He even has all this area out here. So
yeah,
it's kind of the old school style of thought coming back in style with a lot of the bunches and stuff. You see more and more run more and more often.
What's some of the rationale to compress that guy there, though?
So, I mean, it's the thought is that it's kind of, it gives you the option for run blocking, and it gives you more space to run those routes to the outside. So it's kind of like, more of an old school tight end, inline tight end kind of feel.
It also shortens that boundary over there too, which helps offensively. It brings that corner in. If you saw it on the first play, if you can bounce out on that outside zone run, it gives you a little bit more grass to work with out there, as opposed to your X receiver being all the way out on the numbers and then you're running into a corner.
But even on this route concept, you can see how both guys stemming outside. They started in this bunch formation. They did a little twist where the inside guy goes outside, the outside guy is probably sticking. So there's probably some sort of play, but.
Yeah.
You can just get creative with it, and it's just a different look, a different way to kind of mess with the defensive line gaps.
Yeah, and we're going to try to be as respectful to the FSU media policies here. They really don't want us breaking down plays too much, so we're going to try to be mindful of that and be respectful to their wishes, so that we can continue to do what we do. But here's another compressed type formation. Another run play gets bottled up inside. We'll focus on the defense a little bit more later, but Mackenzie Milton in there running the quarterback show. It sounds like he had a little bit of a down day today. He's been pretty good overall the first 4 days. Jordan Travis, on the other hand, unfortunately, we don't have a ton of film of him. He had a better day today. Has had a pretty consistent camp so far. So, it sounds like that quarterback battle's right where you kind of want it to be at day 4 camp. The guys are pushing each other. They're giving it their all. Their competition's the lifeblood of a successful football program. So, you like that at your quarterback position. You've got two guys that are battling it out.
Yeah, right here. So I definitely have my opinion, but on your opinion, do you think this is an offensive line failure here, or do you think this is something we can praise the defense for later?
I think it's an offensive line failure. I don't know why Herring's not attacking Thomas a little bit more. He's awfully passive.
So right here,
the back's awfully passive also, and it's just kind of like you're stuck.
Right, they're waiting to catch the defender.
Yeah, and then you get a late trigger by Gainer. Not late trigger, but
which we'll get into later.
Sort of delayed blitz there by Gainer, who comes in and gives pressure up the middle. But you'd like to see a better block out of Cam McDonald there. Yeah, out of Cam McDonald there. You'd like to see a little more effort out of him there, but I'm wondering if, Mackenzie shouldn't keep coming with this. It's hard to tell.
From my perspective, Mackenzie's got a few seconds with the ball in his hand after a play action.
Yeah.
This is from a quarterback perspective, this is a ball that needs to find its way out of your hand.
Yeah, I tend to agree. And you see he's set, reset. It seems as though things are covered up pretty well down the field.
Yeah.
It's a good shot of it, though. A good look at it. All right. So here we got this is from earlier in practice. You get some seam throws here. This is a nice seam throw. to Jordan Wilson, big time target in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he's a big kid.
Yeah, he's humongous. I mean, he's a guy that they need him to be a very good blocker and a big body who can really kind of create space in the middle of the field, be sort of a security blanket for the quarterbacks. Another throw by Milton here to Douglas, Ja'Kai Douglas, wide receiver. You're seeing a lot of different bodies out at wide receiver. Is that a good thing or a bad thing, Kev?
Oh yeah, I mean, if we're talking modern spread offense, this is exactly what you want. You want someone. So last year we saw Ja'Kai Douglas playing a lot of that little. We called it the tailback role, but kind of going in at running back, going in at slot receiver. Here he's playing outside receiver. So if you have a guy like this that's quick and runs good routes that you can place anywhere on the field, that's really invaluable to an offense.
Yeah, it's something that jumps out to me as I watch Norvell's offenses work through practices is the amount of action that there is. I mean, there's always some sort of run action or pass action kind of involved. Run
this
action.
Is our one Jordan Travis clip here.
It's a shame too because Jordan's really having a good camp. He obviously this setting is good for him. He's able to utilize his legs, but his arm is coming along too. Here's Chubba Purdy throwing the ball, but anyway, yeah. So I mean, it seems as though run action is going to be very prevalent in the offense this upcoming year, and we'll see how that plays out as the year goes on. But statistics show, and Kev, you can speak a little bit more to this. Utilizing play action is big for modern offenses.
Yeah, whether or not your running game is successful or not has almost no impact on whether play action works. It's just that threat to keep the linebackers honest that works. And stats show that play action passes in general are going to be way more successful. So
yeah, you're just able to freeze a guy for a second, and that's going to create space for you down the field.
I did want to go back to this Chubba throw to just to defend him here. This is an incomplete pass, but this is exactly where you want that ball to be thrown.
Yeah,
this receiver turns his whole body to try to catch this ball. And honestly, if he was taller than 6 foot, he probably catches this.
Yeah, and I think that's a walk-on receiver up there. So that's tough. Chubba practiced in the second half of the practices with some of the walk-ons and younger guys in the first 3 days. I think Chubba's and Tate have both practiced fairly well so far. Tate's been one of the more consistent players. I know Kev likes to hear that.
He's a practice All-American, I'll tell you what. He's the opposite of Mackenzie Milton.
Chubba's working his way back. They're obviously not in the quarterback competition hunt for that number one spot this year necessarily. But you like to hear that your younger guys that you're looking to groom are showing some promising stuff early in camp anyway. Here's some balance drills. They're working a little ball security at the end. They're just trying to work on having balance as you run. These are team-wide drills. The guys all get together, so don't get excited seeing Jordan Travis working. We're the running backs here.
Wait, you're saying that he's not a tight end with Cam McDonald?
No, I'm not saying he won't catch a pass this year, but they're just working on a little bit of balance.
I want him at inline tight end, pulling across the line of scrimmage.
Look, if he can play guard, I'll take it, all right?
Put him at guard. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, the offensive line's still the question mark of camp. It's the thing that they've got to prove themselves. And Norvell, Coach Norvell talked today about they're really trying to put those guys in challenging positions right now, trying to figure out what it is they got, what they don't have. So
this is the drill I want to do.
Is it? The old layout drill. There's Andrew Parchment, Kansas transfer coming in.
Yeah, he's been impressive by all accounts, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, offensively, I think there's still a lot of room to grow.
This is something that I noticed when I watched their practices in the spring. They do a lot of work with screens. Which I mean is a pretty normal thing in the modern spread offense, but you just like to see it. It's an area of focus, and I like this drill. This is kind of a neat way to ensure that they really tighten the ball up as soon as they catch the ball.
Yep. Oh, here's the big boys, the meat eaters, and this is not going to be all the guys that are going to be playing this year. This is going to be some of the backups and some walk-ons here. But this drill, they're working on just staying low. They're trying to work on pad level. They're trying to work on getting those hips up and through as they make that contact and they're driving their feet. Yeah, I wish we had some good clips of some of the starters, but it is what it is. There's only limited time in practice that you can get the good video of these guys. Coach Storms. All right, here's some of the starters
Yeah,
here.
these are
So
some bigger
again,
boys.
yes, same drill. Again, they're working on trying to stay low, coming out of their stance. Good pad level, good flat back, rising, delivering a rising blow. Lloyd Willis, Robert Scott there.
Yeah, to give some reference, they're only really allowed to take video at certain points of practice, and so that's why
Yeah,
you tend to see a lot of the film is just the same drills over and over. It's because
yeah,
they tend to run those drills early on in the day.
yeah. And I think that this is a big emphasis for them. Obviously, the O line's got to be better. It's got to be a room that continues to grow off of last year, and they've got to be really good in those standard passing downs. But one way to ensure you're good in standard passing downs is being able to get out of those by running the football successfully. So, I think that the running game is going to be a big thing for them this year. I think it's something they want to emphasize, and you can kind of see that in some of these drills. They want to get off low, get off aggressively, finish
Right.
blocks. And a lot of that is, a lot of finishing blocks is being a low man, good positioning, good unloading those hips, good. Ooh, kid got off the ball well.
Yeah, he did. Who was that? 64.
Yeah, I think he's a walk on.
Yeah,
I'm not certain.
you still like to see that kind of thing from walk-ons, just kind of pushing.
Absolutely.
That
I
one
love
walk-on that pisses off all the starters by going a little bit too hard in practice.
it. Yeah, I'm here for it.
All right, so I think it's time to start moving on to more defensive-minded stuff here.
Yeah. So you've got Miko Dotson. I think that's Josh Griffiths here. They're working some. This is their first day in shells. They're just working on some.
Just breaking down
Yeah.
a decent breakdown here.
Yep.
You'd like
Yeah,
them
so you
a little lower.
Yeah, you want to feet a little closer together too. You're going to sprint to the cone, come around the cone, and sprint back, and you want to get yourself in position to break down. Here's Lawrence Tolfili. I think that is 9
Yeah,
in white. So that's all white. White is offense, maroon is defense, or garnet, I should say. Sorry.
that's pretty good on a
Yeah.
on a little squirrely running
Yep.
back.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. So you like to see that. I mean, you like to see these guys be able to come in here. Here's Parchment and Marshall Hilleman. He's a walk-on defensive back. I think he's a hybrid type kid.
Yeah, he kind of looks it.
Yeah. So not bad there either. I mean, he's in position. They're obviously not bringing guys to the ground right now. They're just
Right.
trying to get in position, squared up to where they can make a play. It's just a lot more of the same. No
Yeah.
biggie.
Just a lot of working on this. It seems like from a defensive perspective, it's
Yeah.
how well do you break down. Here, he's a little late breaking down, and that's kind of why
Yeah.
the guy gets kind of a step
Yep.
on him.
And some of that lateness is just from not sprinting back to that cone and getting yourself in position early.
Yeah, and so these are some.
Yeah. Yeah. These are some younger guys mixed in with some walk-ons. So you're not seeing your best here.
This is
It's
DJ Williams, right?
Auburn
Yep.
transfer. Yep. Going against Jaleel McRae. And, it's not horrible. I mean, McRae's there to make a tackle on him, but you'd like to see him get to that cone and get broken down.
Yeah, that was one concern. McRae just always seems about one step away from making that play.
Yeah.
Last year, so it's something that you'd like to see kind of in the
Yep.
future, him moving forward
Yep.
with that.
Yeah. We know how important, playing in spaces in today's college football. And it stays the same for these guys. I mean, they've got to be able to win in space. Got to be able to bring a guy down one-on-one.
So when I played defense about a million years ago, I was always taught to put my head on the front shoulder, so the shoulder towards the sidelines. But more and more, I've seen that players are taught to put it on the back shoulder. Do you have any opinion on that?
I do not.
Kind
I'm-
of cutting
I'm
them
old
off, keeping them from making that cut inside.
Yeah, they want to make sure you don't cut back. I'm old school, bite the ball kind of guy, but it is what it is.
All right. So this is another one of those fun ones.
Yeah, a little fumble drill. Look, turnovers are important. So they're working on recovering. These are good warm up drills. These are things they do early in practice to get guys loose, let them get out there, be a little dynamic, work on a skill. that you're not going to get to later in practice. But hey, how many times have we seen the ball roll around in the dirt, not
Honestly.
get picked up?
Yeah, fumble luck, right?
All right, so yeah, we're going to come back to that film you saw earlier with Mackenzie Milton and look at it from more of a defensive perspective. So you're seeing a 4-man front. They're running they're calling it a 4-2-5. I still think it's Fuller's 4-3 with a hybrid nickel out there.
It can almost even be called a 3-4.
Yeah,
with the way they play that Fox.
They're bringing a boatload of pressure here. Brandon Gant overruns this, and it cuts back inside. So there's some of your open field stuff we talked about.
That was one of the problems with him that he had last year. Was he's very aggressive, hits hard, but he comes down too quickly. His hips are pointed that direction, which kind of leaves that cutback lane wide open.
Imagine there being a cone out here, and again, we talked about this with the compressed formation, but imagine there being that drill they were just working, there being a cone there. He's got to get to that cone with his hips square.
Yep.
And then he can move laterally. Now he's out of position.
Yep, and that's why that cutback's wide open. Also, just to bring it back to earlier, so that compressed formation here leaves this corner now in the box, and he's got run responsibility.
He's got to fit that gap. Yep.
I mean, that's not something that's natural for him.
So he fits that. I think that's Gainer. Gainer gets caught up in the by the puller. I think Gainer's got to probably keep coming there. He gets a little stuck at the line of scrimmage, but it's not horrible. Dix gets cut off on the backside, and Ward makes a play 1-on-1 in space, and offense wins.
That's a good block by 53 there.
Yep.
Kind of picking up the linebacker in space.
Absolutely. That's what you want to see out of your offense, and that's good competition.
All right, so next play.
Yeah, so defense is going to same formation, same personnel. Miko Dotson out here corner. Keir Thomas, who's had a humongous camp so far.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
The D-line has been eating. Yeah, there's Andrew Parchment trying to block Keir Thomas. Let's run that back. Let's watch how that battle turns out.
Yeah, not bad.
No,
when he gets
not
drilled,
horrible.
but he holds on.
Your interior, you're seeing a lot of movement up front. I mean, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure who that is, but holy moly.
Watch this right guard, guys.
Yeah.
Right here. He gets beat worse than Parchment, which is a statement. That is textbook. Oh.
Yeah. That's
Fabian Lovett.
Fabian Lovett going against Zane Herring there. Yeah. That's what you want out of Lovett. He's had a big camp. That D-line's really had a big camp so far. And
they're looking solid.
Yeah, they're looking like the real deal, which is what you're wanting. I'm seeing good communication on the defensive side. Guys getting lined up, knowing where they're supposed to be. More pressure again. It seems to be the theme of the day.
Is that Briggs, number 6?
Yeah, Briggs is number 6.
Yeah, there's definitely some agility, way more agility than we saw last year out of this front four.
Jermaine Johnson on the top of the screen, Briggs coming in. Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, it looks good. The product looks good on defense right now. We want to see when teams start game planning against them.
Right. This is what we were saying the same thing last year this time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that there we go, just stuffing it in the middle.
Yeah, but you like to see some things that are really big differences from last year that could make a huge difference is just moving Gainer inside. How does he do when he's faced with more of this physical role? And you can see, the box gets kind of stuffed up.
Yeah, I feel like some of this one gap stuff they're doing that I perceive it to be one gap. Maybe I'm wrong. Some of the one gap stuff that I perceive them doing inside is really helping. I mean, they're really getting up the field a little more violently. And I see Steven Dix coming forward. He looks a little more sure in what he's doing right now. Jamie Robinson inside, helping out inside. He's a big key to what they want to do. There's Gainer on the blitz.
But if we can have an aggressive Gainer, that's a game changer.
Yeah. Keir Thomas off the edge. We kind of talked about this earlier. That's what you want to see. I mean, think about times last year where this just
our blitzes were so slow last year.
Yeah, quarterback's back there for an hour waiting to throw the football, and it's like you just see a little more of a sense of urgency. You see a little more willingness to get back there, and kind of understanding how to get back there too, which is not something you always saw last year.
Right. And this is now your favorite, the special teams.
Oh, special teams drills. Yeah, so they're just working on block shedding here. They're gonna fit and form, and then just work on one direction or the other, getting to a point or getting down the field on their line, and then getting to a spot. Yeah, boring, boring.
Oh, we got a lot of this film, but we're gonna spare you guys from a lot of it.
There's Josh Burrell.
And your favorite.
Yeah, I wish Tommy would have shown us whether he made it or not, but
we can see the hands. We can see the hands.
Apparently, Ryan Fitzgerald's been kicking the ball fairly well so far in camp. That's a positive. That's a
huge positive.
That's a good thing. Being able to, I mean, we couldn't rely on 3 last year. So if he can be reliable, it's big for this football team.
Yeah. So based off of everything you've seen, positive, negative, neutral, how are you feeling about this practice?
I think I'm where I've been all along. I mean, I still think this is a 6-ish, 7-ish win football team. That ballpark. There's a long way to go for the offense. Obviously, they're always behind in camps. I mean, that's the thing that people get worried about and stressed about. The offense isn't scoring a ton of points. These situations are built for a defense. These camps. I mean, they can come in and say, "Hey, we're going to run man coverage," and
right.
They can just kind of attack the football, whereas the offense is really trying to get themselves all pieced together and figuring it all out.
Yeah, and you kind of learn tendencies and play calls, and that definitely
absolutely.
Defense.
Yep, absolutely. So I'm where I've been all along. I think this is a team that's better than last year, but maybe not going to be better. Well, they're going to be better record-wise, but maybe not as good as we want them to be, or their record's not going to be as good as they perform this year. But I like what I'm seeing on the defense. You and I especially have been very bullish on what we think about Adam Fuller and what he is as an offensive or a defensive coordinator, and I stand by that. I feel like I'm seeing a lot out of practice so far that tells me that he's made some adjustments, and we'll see as games get here and we get into scrimmages. But yeah, I'm excited for the scrimmage on Saturday to kind of get some information out of that, and see what things look like, and we'll go from there.
Yep, it's exciting. They reloaded on the defensive backs, and I think that can be a big difference maker for the defense. But yeah. Thanks for joining me and talking about these practice footage as short and as weird as some of them might be. And check us out next time as we continue to do position previews throughout the next couple weeks.
Yeah. Hey, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button.
Subscribe. We have Patreon.
Subscribe.
And we have gear too.
Hit the Patreon. Get the gear. The gear, the links for all that stuff is going to be in the description for the video. We appreciate you guys watching.
Yep.